Good morning, children. In today's session, I am going to take class for 6th standard English. That is Unit 1, Prose, children, from the Term 3 portion. Okay? Prose is, already I have taken poem for you all from the Unit 1. Now it's prose for you. And the lesson name is Who Owns the Water? Actually, water is for all of us, right? We cannot own that. நம்ம வந்து அதை வாங்க முடியாது. நம்ம எப்படி ஃப்ளாட்டு அந்த வீடெல்லாம் வாங்குறோமோ அது மாதிரி தண்ணி நம்மளால் வாங்க முடியாது இல்லையா? We cannot own the water. So, it is a property who belongs to all of us. Now we are going to see this lesson which insists the importance of water. That is, who owns the water. Now, once seeing this page, it is in page number 72. After buying the book, you can see, children, see in page number 72. First they have asked, during which season do you see a peacock dance? Okay, so peacock dance you can say right there as rainy season. So when the peacock dance, children? In the rainy season. And the next is, which season is shown in this picture? What are the people doing? So it is a picture shown here, that is people. It's a winter season, children, where the people are warming their hands by lighting a fire. Okay, it's a winter season. You have to write there, children. After you take down this in your notebook. After you get your book, you can take down in your book, children. Okay, winter season. The people are warming. People are warming themselves by lighting a fire. By lighting a fire. Okay, children, this picture shows that people are warming. So this is the first one. Okay, this is the second. The next picture they have shown, in which season can you see trees without leaves? Name the country where you can find this season. Okay, so where, children? Without leaves is a autumn. It's an autumn season. So where you can see this season, in which country? You can see it in Canada. Okay, you have to write there. Then next is the last picture. Which season is shown in the picture? How do you know? That is summer season. It's shown in the summer. And here the people are buying. People. So how you know that? That is, people are buying ice cream. People are buying ice cream. Okay. Then what and all they are buying? Then ice creams, and they are quenching the thirst by drinking the tender coconut water. Tender coconut, that is, they are quenching thirst. Quenching the thirst means avanga vandu romba thirsty ah irukanga illaya. So summertime we feel very thirsty. Quenching thirst by drinking tender coconut water. Okay, tender coconut. Then what is tender coconut, children? It is elanir in solron illaya. Now we are going to go inside the lesson now. Once upon a time, on the outskirts of a dusty little village, outskirts means a town. Outside the village there is a small town. A tiny bird searched for a place to lay her eggs. So what did the bird do? It searched a place to lay the eggs. The land was parched, that is, it was very dry, and there wasn't a bush or a tree inside. So you cannot find any, the bird did not find any bush or a tree near the place. Finally, in desperation means it loses its hope. So the bird lost hope, and the little bird discovered a shallow depression in the ground. See this picture, children? You can see this picture. So in that ground, it made a shallow depression. The shallow depression means it's a small hole. Okay, distance between the top and the bottom. Romba deep avum illama, a small hole it discovered in the ground. Using a claw. So how did it make that hole? It made the hole by its claws. Claws means a nail of its leg. Okay, to remove the stone and loosen up the earth. She broadened the hole, and there. So what did it do? It made a nest in the ground. Okay, the ground was very dry. The ground was very dry, and it made a nest in the hole. Nest or a hole in the ground. Okay, it made a hole in the ground. And it made, how did it make the hole? It removed the stones, okay, by removing the stones, and it made a hole. The bird made a hole. For what it made a hole? That is to lay the eggs. So now what did that bird do? Underneath the hot sun, she laid her eggs. So after making a small hole, the bird laid the eggs. Now the eggs hatched. So கொஞ்ச நாளுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன ஆச்சு? The eggs hatched and the mother protected and fed her babies. So then what did the bird do? It protect the babies and fed them. Fed them na அவங்க வந்து ஊட்றது, சாப்பாடு ஊட்றோம் இல்லையா? Fed their babies until they were big enough to fly away. So until they were big, it protected, the bird protected the babies and fed the babies till they able to fly. Okay. And here a story would have ended. So you think that the story is ended. Now baby laid her eggs and it flew away. So birds also and the babies also flew away. You think that the story has over. Okay, but not. Okay, the story has not finished. Isn't a tale of a little bird, but a much more interesting one of the hole she used as a temporary nest. That is, by this the story is not over. It's not a story of a little bird, but it's a story of a hole that the bird made. Now we are going to continue the story. A hole, you may ask. What could be interesting about a hole in the ground? Well, this hole grew to be a quite important. Now this is a important one. The hole is an important one there. For some time the hole remained dusty. So now the bird and the babies flew away from there and that place was remaining dusty. That place was remained dusty and untenanted. Untenanted means not occupied by any animal or a bird. So for many days that place was not occupied by any animal and it was dusty. And it was a small hole there. Until one day a passing wild boar. So what is wild boar? It's a wild pig. So boar you can say as a pig. Wild pig. Okay. A wild pig came there, settled his rump into the depression. Settled his rump means that is back part of its body. Okay. It want to sit in that hole. But it's wild pig, how it will be? It's a very big pig. It's a very big animal, right? The bird is very small. The eggs also small. So the hole was very small at that time. Now this wild boar want to come and settle there, but the hole was very small. So we will see what this wild boar is going to do now. Okay, that is, the pit was not comfortable enough and getting up he scraped and dug, carving a pit. Okay, now the pit was not comfortable. That pit the hole has become a pit now. Kurin sodalia, the pit was not comfortable of him. Why? Because that pit was very small. Now he want to make that hole little big for it, for the animal to sit there, right? Now he scrapped and dug. Dugna another thondrathu. Now he started digging it for its body to settle there and carving a pit. Backing into his hollow, he turned around a few times and with a satisfied grunt settled down to a long snooze. Now he turned around for a few times. Okay, few times turn panna aarambichadu. That is, it is comfortable for him to, what happened to lie down there. Okay, then with a satisfied, with a long snooze means the long sleep. Now it wanted to take a long sleep. That place is comfortable for him. Now that hole has become a little big now. So that hole is a big now. Okay, then a very long snooze it was too. So this wild boar started sleeping and take a long sleep. Then the boar turned and scrabbled in his sleep. Scrabbled means that it's moving hands and feet. இப்போ நம்மலாம் நல்லா தூங்கணும்னா என்ன பண்றோம்? அப்படி திரும்புறோம் கை கால்லாம் அசைக்கிறோம் இல்லையா? Same like that, same time, same wise, this wild boar is also in a good sleep. It was turning here and there. It was moving his hands and feet in the sleep. Then around his cozy dugout until the fading sun. It was cozy means very comfortable. Okay, till the sunset the wild boar was sleeping nicely. And the rumble in his stomach. Rumble means sound coming in his stomach. That is, it is feeling hungry. This wild boar is feeling hungry now and it wanted to get up. So rumble in his stomach told him it was time to get up. Now it took a long sleep in the morning time. Okay, so in the morning time it was sleeping nicely and now this wild boar started hungry. Okay, he was very hungry. Now it wanted to get up now. With a mighty stretch, the hungry boar departed his daybed. So it went out from that pit now. Okay, it went out with a backward glance. So it took a glance of the hole. It saw that and went out from there. Okay, now it took a good sleep. Now this hole become little big now. First the bird was there. It's a small hole. Now next which animal came there? Wild boar. Now little big was that hole now. Now, and is that it? Now you think that the story again finishes? No. Okay. To which I will reply, no, it isn't, dear one. Not by a long shot. Our story has just begun now. Now only our story is going to begin. Okay, the author says. Now, section 2. A pack, no, that is the wild boar went from there. Okay, that is departed from that place, means went from that place now. And that time what happens? Wild boar went from there. Now, after some time, a pack of wild dogs. Okay, pack of means 4 or 5 in a group. Pack means group. Okay, see in this picture, the dogs there, wild dogs. That too. Okay, a pack of wild dogs catching the scent of a boar, the smell of a boar, the smell of a pig. He was catching the smell of a pig from the air, in the wind. Okay, they got the smell of the boar, came to the spot where he had lain. They catch the smell of the boar and they came there where the boar was laying down, where the boar was sleeping. And the smell அப்படியே அவங்க ஏர்லியே ஸ்மெல் பண்ணிட்டு அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, அந்த இடத்துக்கு வந்தாங்க. Okay, who came? The wild dogs. They sniffed the circle. Sniffna மோந்து பார்க்கறது புரியுது. Sniff the circle, அந்த ஹோலை வந்து அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, ஸ்மெல் பண்ணாங்க. Sniff the circle which rich with the smell of an animal. ஸோ அந்த அனிமலோட ஸ்மெல் அங்கே இருந்தது. So they started sniffing it and they whined and snarled. Whine means they cried and snarled and they made a loud noise because that animal was not there. They took the smell of the animal and came there, but the animal was not there. And they cried and made a loud noise and dug at the smell as if digging the boar himself. அந்த கோவத்தில் அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, அந்த ஹோலை வந்து இன்னும் டெக் பண்ண ஆரம்பித்தாங்க, புரியுதா? And they made little more big. அந்த கோவத்தில் அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க, அந்த போர் அங்கே இருக்குமான்னு சொல்லிட்டு they started digging. The wild dogs அவங்க டக் பண்ண என்ன ஆச்சு, அந்த ஹோல் இன்னும் பெருசாக ஆரம்பிச்சுது. Dig the boar himself out of the ground. Finally realizing that there was no dinner to be found there. ஸோ அவங்க ஈவினிங் டைமில் வந்தாங்க இல்லையா, ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு டின்னருக்கு அந்த அனிமல் கிடைக்கும்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க வந்தாங்க. பட் they realized, they came to know that the no animal was there. Okay, and they departed. They went with their noses and tails high in the air. That is, nails and tail means that is they are very angry. Okay, they were very angry. They went from there. And in doing so, they left a hole a little bigger. So அவங்களும் என்ன பண்ணாங்க, அந்த டிக் பண்ணாங்களே அந்த ஹோலை இன்னும் பெருசாகிட்டாங்க. அந்த ஹோலை ஃபர்ஸ்ட் the bird made a hole, then wild boar came, இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் அதை பெருசு பண்ணிச்சு அந்த பிட்டை. Then again the wild dogs came, again made a pit more bigger. Okay, the hole become more bigger. And then what happened, you will ask. So you will ask me that what happened again. Then two other animals came along too. So other animals also came. They do indeed. Yes, my child, I told you the whole had a story to tell. So what is the story there about the whole only? Okay, now yes, other animals also came there. Not long after, the rains came. So after a long time, the rain came there, but the earth was very dry there. But now what happened, the rain came there. Okay, it poured and poured, and only those of us. So okay, it poured and poured again. Rain without stopping for 3 days. நல்லா மழை பெஞ்சது without stopping. நிற்காம வந்து 3 நாளுக்கு நல்லா மழை பெஞ்சது, புரிஞ்சுதா? For 3 days and 3 nights. So without stopping, the rain poured and poured for 3 days and 3 nights. And the dry earth soaked up. That is, the dry earth completely wet. Now the dry earth was fully completely wet. Okay, children? So எப்படி இருந்துச்சு அந்த earth? ரொம்ப, it was full of dry. The earth was very dry. No trees, no plants, nothing there. But now after the rain came, it was fully completely filled with water, and the small grasses also came out. Okay, then the whole earth smelled wet. So இப்போ ஃபுல்லாக மழை பெஞ்சிட்ட அப்புறம் the earth was full of, the place was full of wet and fresh. Okay, and even the normal serious looking people, அதாவது நார்மலாக இருக்கிற பீப்புள் கூட அந்த வில்லேஜில் வந்து they had a smile on their face. Why they had a smile on their face? Because it rained nicely, the place was full of water, and even the plants also, the grass also came out, right? So they were very happy with the smiles on their face. The hole in the ground collected the water that fell, and around its edges the grass grew a brighter green. Now the hole which was there, the first bird came, then wild boar, then wild dogs all came there. It made a big hole, okay, like a pond. Okay, now the water is collected in that hole, in that pit. So நல்லா மழை பெஞ்சோன்னா அந்த ஹோலில் என்ன ஆச்சு, மழை பெய்ய ஆரம்பிச்சது, அந்த ஃபுல்லாகவே தண்ணி வந்து நிரம்பிடுச்சு. It was collected, the water was collected there, that was fell, and the grass also was grown near the hole. Soon buffaloes also discovered the grassy spot. Now the buffaloes came there, why? To eat the grass which was near the hole. Okay, then soon the buffaloes discovered the grassy spot, and as buffaloes want to do, they wallowed in the puddly water turning the hole into a muddy pit. That is, they rolled in the water. It was in the pit. Now what happened when they rolled means the water was full of mud. Okay, fully in the water. The water was with the mud there. Then I was not there to see, but I told that many afternoons the buffaloes gathered there. So nearly all the afternoons what happens, the buffaloes come and gather there. Gather na onna sendu vandu enna பண்ணுவாங்க with their foot, and thus with a multitude of hooves. Hoof means buffalo's foot. புரியுதா? hooves என்னது? buffalo's foot, the animal's foot. So the multitude na நிறைய buffaloes அங்க வந்தாங்க. With their foot what they do, they trample the soil, crush the soil. அவங்க என்ன பண்ணாங்க? அந்த soil crush பண்ணாங்க. The pit that was once a tiny depression widened na கொஞ்சம் பெருசாயிடுச்சு, and grew and became a little watering hole. வந்து பெருசாயி அது என்ன ஆச்சு? ஒரு சின்ன pond மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு அது. புரியுதா? Now what do you think? We think that with the happiness we feel that they lived happily ever after. இப்போ தண்ணி அங்கே வந்துச்சு, எல்லாருமே சந்தோஷமாக இருப்பாங்கன்னு நம்ம நினைக்கிறோம். No, still we have a story. Okay, so that all lived happily ever after, you will say in glee. Glee means happily, but that rarely happens in real tales. Rare da or real stories na nadakum. There was more to go, so you will have to wait a while. So what you have to do, you have to wait and read the story again. So this is section 2, children. So section 3 I will take in the next class. So what we have learned, that first it was a small village and the bird came there, but there was no trees or no bushes, and it made a small nest in a temporary hole there. It made a hole, and after that the eggs hatched and the birds flew from there, right? And then after some days what happened, the wild boar came. That hole was dig into a big hole, and then it came there and went from there also. It slept and went there, and after some time what happened, these wild dogs smelled the wild boar and came there, but they did not see the wild boar there, and they angrily went from there. They also dug the hole, and the hole in little bigger it was there. Then what happened, this after that the rain came, and the rain completely, it was that the hole was fully covered with the water, and on the side what was there, grass was there, right? And the buffaloes came there to eat the grass, and then they made all the buffaloes, many buffaloes were there, and with the foot they cramped the, so that is they crushed the soil, and they made a hole more big, right? And then it became a hole, like it was like a pond. So with this I'll finish this lesson, children. We'll continue this lesson in the next class. It was an interesting story, right? We'll see what happens in the next class. Okay, thank you, children.